starter there, back up as far as I can. I mean, technically I probably shouldn't do it that way. We should keep the planter within the field boundaries when we're doing this. Okay, reaching the island in the middle of the field, not a problem either. So yeah, most of the stuff I'm working on this week is rumour of rumours because I haven't been following current affairs that much for this week. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is take a right turn and we'll run over here. Finish off this side of the field. How's our fertilizer doing? We have 400 litres. No, 250 litres. It's a little bit worrying. 4 litres of seed. We've got good amount still to go there. I've actually seen fields in Ohio where I believe cornfields they've planted and they run around the edge. You can see 1 or 2 hedgerows around the edge where they just finish the field off. Good here. I think we did the rest of this one now. What's going on there? Yeah, that's nope, didn't do that bit. Okay, we'll do that bit too. I can still see the shiny bit where the slurry is. Digestate is. So that side of the field is done, apart from a little patch there. And a couple of patches at the bottom. I'll run back down to the corner and do those little bits. And 175 litres of fertiliser stuff left. We'll fill that bit there. I'm keeping the GPS turned on because we will go back to doing the rows up and down once we've completed this side of the field. And you're done. So, a little bit more to do down the end here. So again, liking this cedar. Whoops. Not liking the edge of the field. Just just a little bit small capacity on the seed. While we could plant with the 12-metre one, we would then have to go and spray as well. So this works out okay as far as I'm concerned. So drop that there. Drive for, oops. I think I left that a little bit late. No. Really should have engaged GPS a lot earlier than I did. Yeah, I think the only stuff I've really watched or kept up with this week, there's a farm in, I think, North Carolina, beef farm. And last winter they had a calf was born, but Mum was old and very sickly and so died very soon after he was born. So they had to raise him, bottle feed him. And because they're a beef producer, it was really a case of, well, he's going to go down to the slaughterhouse at some point. And so that was their plan all along, and then this week one of their other viewers who runs a farm decided actually we'd like to keep that cow and use him for breeding. So reprieve for little cow this week. It's kind of cool. Okay, so this time we'll engage it now before we get to the road we want to drive up. So, yay for little cow. He's going off to make a lot of girl cows very happy. Which is probably better than being somebody's lunch, at least as far as he's concerned. That does remind me, we have a lot of steaks in our freezer right now, which we need to get eaten. Over the next few weeks. And then one of the reasons why we want freezers or freezers in the basement is so we can buy a cow for food next year. We did that a couple of years ago. Yeah, we didn't do it this year. We did it previous year. And it's a great way to save money on beef. Because you're paying for the weight of the cow rather than the cut of the meat, for the most part. Drop that there, and I turned it off. Well, isn't that special? Oh, drop lights. There we go. And we can disengage the GPS at this point. Oh, we're out of fertilizer. Oh, man, that sucks. Well, we've got a lot more to do, so I could skip that bit back in the bottom corner there, and if when we're fertilizing the grass fields, we could always bring the liquid fertilizer over here and finish it all off. So again, we'll run down here and go and jump in the vent. Go get ourselves another pallet. Oh. I think we have to feed the sheep this evening as well. We're not doing too badly. It's still the morning, and we've nearly done all the chores we wanted to do today. Oh, I've also found an auger that I may replace those belts with. Kind of holding off for buying it from now, but when we get round to cutting the grass, I may use it to fill up the silage bunker. Oh, okay. That one's not working. Okay. I might have to come in from the other angle because there we go. Yeah. Because that one I'm coming in at 90 degrees, so that's not the connection point. The way these forks work is like hitching up to a trailer. You've got to get the trailer hitch and the hook on your tractor in line for it to attach. So obviously the attach point of the forks or of the pallet is that wide side. So you have to have the forks somewhere to the front of it in order for it to say, yeah, I'll connect, or I can connect. Oh, it's still a little flighty at the back, but not as bad as with the sort of realistic weight mod. So drive carefully, we're okay. And I think we're going to get away with it sufficient for loading up the trailer at the store without a weight. And if we do need a weight, okay, maybe not. If we do need a weight, we can possibly buy a very small one down at the store and get away with it. So very, very, very gently. Okay. Gonna do that, are you? I should be in range. There we go. So very, very slowly. The fence should do its thing. Okay, so we do need a weight. We don't need as heavy a weight as I was needing before. So I think what we'll do is we'll get a very small weight for the store, and when we're cutting those pallets around, we're going to have to put a bit more weight on the back. The seed pallets seem to be lighter, although they can hold more. Or do they? Fertilizer pallets are 1,000, sorry. And And those seed pallets are something like 1,600, 1,500. Okay. So I'll go and finish off that end. We'll run along the edge of the field. There we go, that's better. So I think from the sort of the visual aid hints here, we insert the seed into the ground and then we add the fertilizer after that. So we can't immediately come down to this field and spray or anything like that, because you have to wait till it starts the next growth stage. So yeah, fertilization contracts, you can actually do that with digestate, slurry, whatever you like. So that little corner down there, we may be back with the sprayer later in the year. But for right now, we'll just drive across the field here and do this bit. So again, I'm going to go round the island. So that it all gets done. Could turn the GPS back on. Should be. Yeah, offset's a bit bad. Maybe when we get to the top, I'll just. Definitely got a good overlap here. So. Not going to waste seed, it will waste fertilizer. I do not have the Proseed mod loaded at this time. Or the manure mix mod. I would consider using them, but I would like to get familiar with them on another playthrough before I tried that. Okay, we'll select that, drop that. It's a bit like Courseplay. I like to play a farm with Courseplay before I add it to a playthrough like this. I don't mind, starting a game with a mod I've never used before. But you kind of got to be careful adding it to a major playthrough, especially how far we're in with this one. Because if it does screw things up or break the save, then that's the entire series kind of lost at that point. I kind of want to avoid that if possible. I keep saying it, but I really need to get back to Time and finish that series off. Oh dear. Sorry, big sneeze. So we'll try and avoid blowing people's speakers out or headphones out. So we're going to need to get seed at end of the year so that we can do the oilseed radish planting. question for that is, of course, is it going to be sufficient? Yeah, if it doesn't plant with fertilizer, that's not a problem because you don't fertilize your cover crop, because that's the cover crop's job. But being able to plant your main crop with fertilizer is kind of a good thing. But we are going to need to find something to plant with. I mean, that's one of the reasons I used the 12-meter Lemkin in Farm Sim 17. Oops. Was because we were doing so much oilseed radish work, and that seeder does not use or include fertilizer, so we could get away with that. And the problem with Farm Sim 17 was if a seeder took fertilizer and seed, you had to fill both tanks in order to have the worker do it for you. So by having just a seeder that plants seeds, I could send the worker out. He wasn't constantly complaining that the fertilizer tank was empty or trying to fill it up, which is a bad thing. Okay. So drop that there, and the last row will be good for this season of planting. Then we'll have to find something else to do. Now the other thing I am considering, and I don't know whether I'm going to do it yet, it really for me right now depends on what contracts are available. But I am considering a bale wrapper, or a baler wrapper, should I say. No, that was the wrong button, that button there. And the reason for that is it would allow us to do baling contracts with it, because we have most of what we need for baling contracts, but not everything. So being able to do baling contracts is a good money maker sometimes. So unfold it first, then put it down, then disconnect it, and then attach the tractor to the front. Ooh. Okay, that was a bit weird. Let's see if we can get out of here. Not bad. So I'll take this back to the yard. Tractor will need some maintenance. I don't know that I'm going to bother doing it right now. I will top the tank off. So yeah, primary crop on this farm, or one of the primary crops on this farm, I am going to be doing sunflowers, which is not a crop I usually use. That's not working. Oh yes it is. It's just very, very slow. Yeah, whatever. That's oh, maybe it's because I need to do that. Nope, I can't load this thing up with diesel at all. Oh. Take the seeder down, or the planter down to the lower yard and put it in the shed. As I noted before, this planter is quite nice in that it's very narrow for parking. I need to get some more buildings down here to keep all this stuff safe. I don't think I'm going to get two-seaters through that doorway. If I had a more open plan barn, probably could fit a couple of pieces of equipment side by side. Let me check that. Oh, that bale carrier is a square bale carrier. Okay, how are we doing? We got a ways to go. Beep, 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 beep. Stop. That'll do nice. Yeah, so that's a square bale pickup trailer thing, which we use for hay. But that would mean that we can use our square baler for hay and straw and have a round baler for silage, although we do have... Where's the silage wagon? Oh, by the shed there's a forage wagon that we use for silage at the moment. So I'm going to take this back over here and see if I can load the... There we go. Okay, tank's topped off. And I think we are good for putting this tractor away for a while. I probably will need some heavy tractor work later on, but not right now. So we'll stick this in front of the Challenger. And that's all good. I think I double click that. There we go. And we need to bring the seed back to the yard. Now, the big question at this point is that seed going to germinate correctly? Actually, we could test that out on those other fields. See why they're not growing. Okay, so that's fully planted. So that's purple. So yeah, these purple patches are crop dyed. This blue patch was a fail to germinate. So that was, yeah, random luck. So in those 2 fields, we have lost that to a failure to germinate. So I'm not too worried about that. These fields have all just been planted, so they're waiting. I think we'll find out overnight. So that's our wheat, that's our oats, that's our sunflowers, and those are our the sugar beet things. Okay, so back to here. We need to take stuff back